This is a message for fathers, particularly fathers who've been separated from their kids by an unjust family court. What a mess that is, and what pain has been caused by the family court system separating fathers from their children unjustly. Absolutely insane. Part of that process of being separated from your kids like that is it puts a question into men's minds. Is it worth it? Am I important to my kids? Because they get a message from the courts and from a lot of other people that maybe they're not so important. And I want to tell you right now, you are critical to your children. You are important to your children. You have done things for your children that no mother can ever do. Let me give you a couple examples. The research is starting to show that the things that fathers do are instrumental in helping their children. Remember when your little kids were small and they were little and you threw them up in the air. You threw them up in the air, right? And they'd squeal, yay! And you'd go, wee! And mom would go, oh God, don't throw them up in the air, don't do that. And you'd keep throwing them, right? Because you knew it was fine. The kids loved it. And they'd ask for more. Dad, throw me up again. Please throw me up again. Right? Remember that? You did it without thinking about it. You did it without someone telling you, oh, now it's time for you to throw your kids in the air. No one said any of that crap. And guess what they found? The research has now found that when fathers throw their kids in the air, they're literally helping their children prepare for later risk-taking in life. Isn't that fascinating? The things that you do for your kids automatically are exactly what your kids need in order to become mature adults. Gosh, the other one that's so critical, and there's lots of them, but the other one's so critical to me, and I want to talk a little bit about now, is the whole idea of teaching empathy. Because they've found, everyone assumes, oh, it's the mom who teaches empathy. She teaches the kids how to be sweet and nice, and maybe so, but guess what? Empathy, they now know, is taught by fathers. And guess how fathers teach empathy? They teach it by telling the kids, here's your limit. You can't go farther than that. You go farther than that, there's trouble. And, it starts out with the kids saying, Daddy, I want dessert. I want my pie now. Nope, no pie until you eat your peas. I don't like peas. Tough. Eat your peas, then there's pie. No, peas, then pie. This goes on for who knows how long, and the father doesn't give in. He doesn't say, okay, well, just for tonight, you can have your pie. No, he says, no pie until you eat your peas. The kid learns, okay, I got to eat the peas. They eat the peas, and they get the pie. Good, right? Now, most people don't think much of that interaction, but here's the critical piece. What they found is that when children have limits set on them by dads, usually, because the dads are the ones who can set the limits and hold them. When children have these limits set by dad, something happens inside their brain. They have to now see the situation not through just their own perspective, but they have to see it through the father's perspective. They have to see the world. They have to learn to see the world through someone else's eyes. And we now know that that is the very rudiment that teaches empathy. When we can learn how to see the world through another's eyes, that's what helps us be able to learn how to be empathetic and caring towards other people. But it all starts with the peas and the pie. You did that most likely. There's probably lots of things that you did that are so critical for your kids. And most people don't even know it. Fathers don't even know it. But I'm telling you, don't let the world work away at your sense of how important you are to your children, because you are so critical. And it's like water torture almost, just drip, drip, drip of dad's this and dad's that, and mom saying things, the what do they call it stuff, the parental alienation stuff, where it's very subtle, it could be very subtle, sometimes it's very blatant, but just setting dad up to fail. Oh, if it weren't for your father, blah, 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 blah. And so this eats away at men. It eats away at the kids relating to their father. But the dads need to know that they are critical. You're critical in so many different ways. And it's hardest around the holidays like it is today. Because if you've been separated from your kids, you're probably going to be more separated during the holidays. And that's a mess. And that creates more trouble. And it creates more sense of disconnect, And it's frustrating. And I want to tell you a story. A story about something that happened to me with my father, my own father. My father was dying. And I was stuck up here in Washington, D.C. with my family and my private practice that I couldn't leave very often. I got down to see him as much as I could, but I wished I could have done more. So one time I was down visiting my dad, and I told him how I really wished I could be down there more, but, I couldn't do it. But I gave him 2 pebbles. I said, here are 2 pebbles. He said, you pick one and give one back to me. So he did. He gave one back to me, and he's thinking, what is he up to? What is he doing? And I told him, I said, Dad, I'm going to put this pebble in my pocket. Every day I'm going to have that in my pocket. When I put my hand in my pocket, I'm going to be thinking of you. I'm going to be there with you. And so those next 2 or 3 months as he was dying, he and I would joke about that pebble. Well, you lost it yet? He'd say. I'd say, nope, not yet. It's still there. And I'd say, I put my hand in my pocket when I was doing X, Y, Z, and I was thinking of you. And it was our way to connect, our way, my way to let him know that he was important to me, and I was thinking about him every day. And it dawned on me just a couple of weeks ago. I thought, you know what? That's not a bad idea for fathers who are separated from their kids. Say you got 3 kids. You got 3 kids, 4, 8, and 12. Take 3 pebbles. One small, one's a little bigger, one's a little bigger still. And show those pebbles to your kids. Say, I want you to see these pebbles. These are important because they tell me to remember you. And I remember you. I'm thinking of you all day, even when we're not together. And I'm going to have those pebbles in my pocket. And each time I reach in my pocket, I'm going to be thinking of you guys because you are critical to me. You are probably the most important thing in my life. And I want to make sure you know that. And you can check with me to see if I still have those pebbles. And each time we do get together, I'm going to pull them out and show you. Something like that. Kids tend to be concrete. They tend to be sort of concrete. And if they have a pebble and they know that Dad has a pebble in his pocket, it reminds them that Dad is thinking about them, that Dad cares about them. And it also may have a tiny impact in subverting the whole parental alienation idea. Dad's not thinking about you. He's all he's thinking about is making more money. Blah, blah, blah. Who knows what they're saying, But this is a way you can be with your kids and have the kids know you're thinking about them. It may not work for everybody, but it may work for you. It certainly worked for me with my father, and I still have that pebble. I still have it. And it means a lot to me. So guys, keep that pebble in your pocket. And know that fathers are not just good, they're essential. And of course, fathers and men are good, as are you. Happy holidays, guys.